Hey everybody, today I'm going to be giving you a quick market update for the greater Seattle area. So if you are looking for the most up-to-date information regarding what is going on in today's real estate market here locally, then stick around because we're going to get after it right now. Hey there, I'm Jordan Reeder, your Seattle area real estate agent, and every week I drop content about everything that you need to know about moving to or living in the greater Seattle area. And today I'm going to be going over the real estate market report for October of 2022. There comes a time when you hear all these news stories and you really have to eliminate the noise and really dive into the numbers to understand what's going on. So from now on, I'm going to be doing my best to put some of this data in a digestible format and help compare month over month how things are changing. Yes, things are changing. They have been for a while now. But as you move through your everyday lives, the key is just being able to see the changes from one data point to the next. And we miss this when we're going to work every day, if we don't specialize in real estate, or when we're just dealing with the kids, taking care of the animals, just trying to live our lives. So let me dive in. I'm going to show you how the market has been changing. And at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you how to deal with it and where I think the market is headed. So without further ado, let's jump in and I'm going to show you what's going on in today's market. All right, so we're going to look at percentage of list price here in King County. Now, when somebody lists a home for sale on the MLS, this data is going to show what percentage of that list price they're actually getting. So again, in a normal healthy market, you should be looking at somewhere in the mid to high 90% range. Many people are still looking at 100% being the norm, but again, markets are changing. So let's just mid to high 90s is going to be a good range to look at. So let's take a look at this stat. On the blue line, you're going to see percentage of list price in 2021, and in the red, you're going to see the list price of 2022. So look here in October, percentage of list price that you're looking at in 2022 is 98.6%. So if you were to list your property in King County, you can expect to get about 98.6% of your list price. Now that is off from 105.1%. Obviously in 2021, it was crazy. And so just remember that it looks like from this data, the trend line is going down. We're just kind of retreating back down to the levels that we were at in 2021. Yes, we are about 7% off, but again, this is just really helpful to visually see kind of the trajectory of what's going on. From June to October, it kind of looks like a leveling off, doesn't it, to you? You're not seeing like this huge, cascade down effect. Now let's take a look at condos. All right, so similarly here, now we're gonna go look at the percentage of list price for condos. Again, you'll notice there's way tighter correlation here between 2021 and 2022. So right now in October of 2022, you're looking at 98.7%, but look in 2021, it was only 101.6. So with condos, we're not looking at a huge change here. You can see this trend line is headed down, but again, this is just leveling off and there's not gonna be, or there's not any, so far, any cascading effect down. Yes, this might continue to move down, and I think that it will a bit, but again, it's not doom and gloom. It's not the end of the world. This is just kind of how economics and supply, demand, interest rates, and real estate are just going to work. Okay, so the next number we're going to look at is months of inventory, and that means that if no other inventory hit the market today, how long would it take for all of that inventory on the MLS to be sold off? So in a normal, balanced, healthy market, you're looking at that 4 to 6 month range. So for October of 2022, we're looking at 1.8 months of inventory. In 2021, during the same month of October, we were at 0.5. So again, remember, months of inventory in a normal, healthy market should be 4 to 6 months. We are still well below that at 1.8. So that tells us a couple things. Yes, inventory is definitely rising. You can see this trend line here going up in the red line of 2022. There are more houses that are for sale, and we'll go over that in another stat moving forward. But again, we're not spiking up to crazy levels yet. We're not seeing above 2 or 3 or 4 months of inventory. We're still at that 1.8 range, but 1.8 is still extremely low. Let's check out condos next. So now here we're looking at the month supply of inventory for condos. Red line 2022, we're looking in October at 1.9 months. And this same time last year was 0.9 months. So we have jumped up a month. And so you'll notice this trend line is going up. We all know that inventory is going up. I just think that this is a good correlation to see how 2021 was versus 2022. All right, now we're gonna look at days on market before sale. So that's when a home hits the MLS, how long does it take to go under contract? So let's go ahead and take a look. The red line, 2022, in October, we are looking at 26 days, okay? Now, in a normal, balanced, healthy market, I think 30 days is a really good number to use. So yes, this is kind of creeping up toward that number. It is taking longer to sell. Look at October of 2021, it was 14 days. So that's very, very fast, right? But this makes more sense, right? Because we have more inventory, and because more inventory and higher interest rates, people are kind of staying on the fence and they're looking for that right property. Is this crazy? I mean, if you put your house on the market and it took 26 days to sell, is that a crazy number? No, not at all. But we've been kind of conditioned over the past couple of years to think that our house should sell in 3 days for $100,000 over ask. Well, that's not happening anymore. But look, it's not hockey sticking up, which is great news. So for single family homes, if you're gonna put your property on the market and it's priced right in King County, I would think that it would take about 26 days to go under contract. Depending, that's just the averages that we're looking at. Let's check out condos. Days on market until sale for condos. For October of 2022, you're looking at 27 days. And same time last year, October of 2021, you were looking at 21 days. You're seeing kind of a tighter correlation, right? There's not a huge amount of what I would call dispersion or variation from these data points. 2021 and 2022 are, hanging on a little bit tighter than say the single family homes. Okay, so again, if you put your condo on the market in King County, it's priced fairly. The average days on market until you get a sale is going to be around that 27 mark, where it's 21 in 2021. All right, so now the big question is typically what are home prices doing here in King County? So let's check out the median sales price for single family homes and condos. So here we are, the median sales price for single family homes in October of 2022 was $906,000. Same time last year, October 2021, you were looking at $828,500. So you still have, a $70,000, $80,000 gap between those two. So we've definitely had some great appreciation, as we know, over the last year or two. Interestingly enough, look what's happening here. Last month, you're looking at $875,000. The month prior to that, $899,000. And the month prior to that, in July of 2022, was $900,000. So it's not like this is crashing down, right? We had this huge run up from January, even before that, all the way up to hitting 1.01 million in May of 2022. And then it started kind of careening down. So there's definitely a price correction. Now, what looks like here, if you look at this line right here, this trend line is kind of staying flat or maybe going up, but I bet the next data point for November is probably going to be down here a little bit. So again, there's not a ton of data here, but what I want to point out here is that these prices are not falling off a cliff. The sky is not falling with median home prices. It's difficult to know that without looking at the data and seeing it face to face here. But each data point is going to be important. So let's look at what's happening next month and the month after, and then we'll be able to see what's happening. Okay, so the median sales price for condos in October of 2022 was $494,975. That's up from $485,000 in September of 2022, so last month. But look at here, in 2021, we're only looking at less than a $20,000 difference here. So the median sales price in October of 2021 was $476,766. So obviously what this is showing is that condos, you're looking at, there's a tighter dispersion, meaning that these numbers between 2021 and 2022 are not as vast as, say, a single family house would be. The reason for that, after looking at this data, it really comes down to not as much appreciation in condos and townhouses, right? Versus what's going on in the single family market. So the single family houses, appreciated very, very quickly. And so there's going to be a bigger gap between 2021 and 2022's numbers. Yes, I think that this is trending down, but it's good to see what's going on from January to October of 2022 and comparing that to what's going on in the condo market in 2021. All right, so let's now jump into arguably the most important number, and that is home inventory level. So this is, again, basic supply and demand economics. So this is the key number to keep your eye on, or one of them, right? Single family houses in King County for October of 2022, you were looking at 3,332 homes for sale on the MLS in 2022. Now look at this number. In October of 2021, there was 1,288 homes for sale on the MLS. Big difference here. This trend line for 2022 is obviously headed up quite a bit. So should we continue to see inventory levels rise? Yeah, I'd say we're gonna see inventory levels continue. What's good to see is from July to October is this is relatively flat. That's because obviously rates are extremely high. People just aren't buying, right? So the buyers aren't taking any of this inventory off the market. And so basically inventory is rising. But this does show that there is still buyer activity. Things are still moving. If things were not moving, then this would actually hockey stick up from here. So I would say that things are still moving for single family houses. It is a far cry from 496 homes for sale in January of 2022, but I can tell you that this is pretty healthy. We do need inventory for people to be able to buy houses. Do we want to see this rise much higher? Probably not, but this just gives you a very good visual of what's going on year over year and also month to month. All right, so here's inventory levels for condos. October of 2022, you're looking at 1,084 condos for sale on the MLS in King County. In 2021, you're looking at 692. So again, much tighter dispersion here, but you're obviously seeing an increase in the amount of inventory in 2022. And you'll see that from this trend line here. Look at this. In January of 2022, there were 279 condos that were available. And now there's about, or in October, there's about 1,084. So what do you do with all this data, right? Well, let me answer a few questions for you. Is the sky falling? No, not yet anyway. Let's keep looking month to month and see how this charts out over the next 6 to 12 months. Do interest rates suck right now? Yes, that's a resounding yes, we know that. Will they come back down? Yes, absolutely. If you look at historically what interest rates have done, they usually spike and then they are gonna be headed down at some point. Do you rent your interest rate rather than owning it? Yes, you are not tied into the interest rate, and there are many ways for you to be able to get into a house if you are a buyer and lower that interest rate for a few years or permanently, depending on the type of loan program that you have. But again, you are not tied into that interest rate. You are simply renting that rate until you lock in a better rate when they come down. So there you have it. That concludes my real estate market update for October of 2022. So if you're not sitting on the fence or not sitting on the sidelines and you are looking to buy, here's a few pieces of advice. Talk to your lender about the best loan programs available. Look at adjustable rate mortgages with longer time horizons to see if there's a program that would fit what you're looking for and what you can afford. Inventory, as you can see from earlier, is still moving, so ask for some concessions like having a seller buy down your points as much as possible. Think about your personal time horizon. If you're looking to buy and then sell within just a few years, it may be smarter to look at rental costs in the area. But if you need more space and you have a longer time horizon, like let's say 5-10 years or beyond, before entertaining another move, then renting a high interest rate and refinancing when they come down should not have a huge effect on your overall financial picture. Again, if you hold long enough. Now, if you're looking to sell, I think the above graphs and stats have shown you that real estate is still moving in this area. Yes, it is taking longer to sell. Yes, there is more competition, meaning more houses on the market. And yes, you may have to offer some concessions for a good buyer, but home prices are not falling from the sky. Although median home prices are off their all-time highs, it's still a good time to sell if you have the proper expectation as to what you can get out of your house. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you're looking to move to the greater Seattle area, already live here and want to connect, or if you'd like to discuss what this data might mean for you, I'm going to put my contact information right below here. So please feel free to reach me anytime. And with that, now that you know all the numbers and what's going on in the market here in Seattle in October of 2022, watch this video next where I'm going to talk about the 4 must-use tips when selling your home in 2022. Again, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.